Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Physics Infinity. Today we will study about the unit cell. Now the unit cell, it is the smallest block or the geometric figure of a crystal which when repeated again and again along the three definite directions in space forms the complete lattice structure. That means the unit cell is the smallest element of a crystal structure that when repeated in all the directions can generate the complete lattice structure. Now the choice of a unit cell is not unique. That means we can take a number of cells as a unit cell that repeated in the three directions can generate the lattice structure. Now, one more definition of the unit cell is as a region of the crystal defined by two vectors A vector and B vector in two-dimensional of area A cross B and by three vectors A vector, B vector and C vector in case of a three-dimensional lattice of volume A cross B dot C, which when translated by any integral multiple of those vectors reproduce a similar region of the crystal. Here the important thing is that these vectors like A vector and B vector in two dimension or A vector, B vector and C vector in three dimension must be such that their integral multiple can generate the complete region of the crystal. Now we have a simple representation in two dimension. Let this be a lattice structure in 2D. Here we have shown three parallelograms here. The parallelogram A, B, C, D has the four lattice points at its corners. Here let AB be the A vector and AD be the B vector. Now this may be a unit cell. The second example is the parallelogram EFGH. Here we have two lattice points, this and this, at the edges of two sides of the parallelogram. This also can be a unit cell because these unit cells or these portions or these parallelograms when repeated in all the directions can generate the complete lattice structure. One more example is the parallelogram KLMN. Again, this may be a unit cell because when this is repeated in all the directions, it also can generate the complete lattice structure. Now, our next topic is the primitive cell. Now, what is primitive cell? Primitive cell is also a unit cell, but a unit cell may or may not be a primitive cell. Now, what is primitive cell? It is a unit cell which contains lattice points at corners only, and the second property is that it has a minimum volume. Means a primitive cell is a unit cell, but a unit cell may or may not be the primitive cell because for a unit cell to be primitive cell there are two conditions to be satisfied. The first one, that the lattice points must be at the corner points, and the second one is that it must have a minimum volume. Now we have a lattice structure here in two dimensions. Here we have the set of linearly independent vectors A vector, B vector and C vector. If we have three dimensions and if we have two dimensions, then the vectors A vector and B vector only that define a primitive unit cell are called the primitive basis vectors or the primitive basis vectors or the simple basis vectors. Now we have an example here. We have a lattice structure in two dimensions. Here we have four parallelograms with different lattice vectors like A1, B1 for the first parallelogram, A2, B2 for the second parallelogram, A3, B3 for the third parallelogram and A4, B4 for the fourth parallelogram. Now we see here that whether these all the four parallelograms satisfies the conditions to be a primitive cell. Let us take the first parallelogram. Here A1 and B1 are the basis vectors. Also it has lattice points at its corners. That is the first condition to be primitive cell is satisfied here. Now the second one, that it must have a minimum volume. That is also satisfied here because a volume or in two dimension it must have a minimum area. we can write here area. Let it be. It must have a smallest or minimum area. Now, one more thing to be a primitive cell, that these vectors a vector, a1 vector and b1 vector must be linearly independent vectors, and when with the help of these vectors the complete lattice structure can be regenerated. Let we take this lattice point here. Let we take this lattice point. Now we see whether we can reach at this lattice point with the help of these a1 and b1 vector by taking their linear combinations. Now to reach this point, from this point we have to cover this much distance, that is 2 times of a1 vector and also 2 times of b1 vector. That is, the position vector of this lattice point can be written as a linear combination of these a1 and b1 vectors. So this is a primitive unit cell. Let us take the next example, the second parallelogram with lattice vectors a2 and b2. Now this also is a primitive cell because any point in this lattice structure can be reached out with the help of these two lattice vectors. Again, the same is the case with this third parallelogram. But when we see this fourth parallelogram with a4 and b4 lattice vectors, we see that this point cannot be reached out with the help of these two lattice vectors a4 and b4. The condition that the coefficients of these lattice vectors must be integer numbers. But to reach out this lattice point, we have to take half the value of a4 and 1 into b4. That is, we do not have a linear combination of a4 and b4 with the coefficients as integers. So this parallelogram is not a primitive cell. Okay. And the same is the thing with the 3 dimensions also. So the condition of a lattice of a unit cell to be primitive, we have 3 conditions here, not only 2 conditions. The first one, that the lattice points must be at the corner points. The second one, it must have a minimum volume in 3 dimension or a minimum area in 2 dimension. And the third thing, that these lattice vectors a4, b4 or a3, b3, a1, b1, like this a vector, b vector, and in case of 3 dimension a vector, b vector and c vector must be linearly independent vectors, and their linear combination with integers as their coefficient must give the position of any of the lattice point. So these 3 are the conditions of a unit cell to be a primitive cell. Now, in 3 dimension, the primitive lattice cell is a parallelepiped with lattice points at the 8 corners, but each lattice point is shared among the 8 cells that touch each other. So, from here, we can have a picture in our mind of a 3-dimensional primitive lattice cell. That is a parallelepiped in which there are lattice points at all the 8 corners, and each corner point is shared among the 8 cells that touch each other. Also, the volume of this primitive cell is defined by the primitive axis a vector, b vector and c vector as Vc is equal to a cross b dot c modulus value. This is the volume of a 3-dimensional primitive lattice cell. Now the next is Wigner-Seitz primitive cell. Now what is Wigner-Seitz primitive cell? It can be generated in this way, that let us choose a lattice point in the lattice structure. Let us choose this as the lattice point. Now we join this lattice point with all its nearest lattice points with the help of straight lines like this. Here with the blue lines represents the line joining the lattice points. Now draw the perpendicular bisector at each line. Here the perpendicular bisectors are denoted with the green lines. Now we will get a region between these green perpendicular bisector lines, and this shaded region is called the Wigner-Seitz primitive cell. Here, the difference between this Wigner-Seitz primitive cell and a conventional primitive cell is that the lattice point in Wigner-Seitz primitive cell is inside the cell. That is, it is at the center of the primitive cell. While in case of a conventional primitive cell, the lattice points is at the corner only, as we have seen here. All the lattice points are at the corner points only. But here in Wigner-Seitz cell, the lattice point is at the center of the cell. So this is the main difference between a Wigner-Seitz primitive cell and a conventional primitive cell. The next thing is the Brillouin zone. What is Brillouin zone? Brillouin zone is a Wigner-Seitz cell, that is this cell but in reciprocal space. Here we have this Wigner-Seitz cell in direct space, but when we go to the reciprocal space, then the same Wigner-Seitz cell is called the Brillouin zone. So this is the Brillouin zone. Thanks for watching the video.